Oh, thanks.
So let's talk about this. What motivates you to learn new languages, and how do you also stay motivated when you're like, because what happens with me at least, and I think with a lot of people as well, is that sometimes you reach a certain level and maybe you're already confident with the language, but you hit a plateau and
Yeah.
you feel that you're not progressing that quickly anymore.
Yeah.
What do you do to stay motivated?
So to answer your first question, what happened is that I used to be really interested into geography.
Okay.
Like when I was a bit younger, I would love countries, provinces, states, capitals. I would just try to learn all of them.
Okay.
I would use this website called Sporkle, where I would just try to identify whichever country fits in the map. Let's say which continent it goes to.
Nice,
And
okay.
also, I would like to identify.
Sounds like a good website.
Yeah, I would love to. I like to identify different flags.
Nice.
Like okay, this flag, let's say it's Barbados or Canada, whatever.
Nice.
And with that, I thought, oh, why don't I try maybe learning the language of some place? Because I really like culture and
Yeah.
and festivals and dancing and music, right?
Okay.
So
it was really the culture.
Yes.
That and the interest for geography and culture that started building that motivation to learn
Exactly.
new languages. Okay. Cool.
yes, and with that, I started learning Spanish.
Okay.
And it also helped because my stepmom is Chilean. So,
Nice. So did you
she's
get
been
to
with us,
practice?
let's say, for 10 years, so
Nice.
I understand Spanish quite well, even
Cool.
though I don't speak much of it. And
But if you were to pick it up a bit, practice a bit, maybe watch more content, read more.
yeah, I think with my French background and have it's
Learn
another Portuguese as well, right? It would
Spanish
be really
a lot-
easy.
Would
Yeah,
be easy. No, that's true.
exactly.
Nice.
And what
Podemos practicar. We can practice someday.
oh, of
That's
course,
right. That's cool.
vámonos.
Vamos. Yeah.
And so what happened was that, so to answer your second question,
Sure,
what
yeah.
motivates me is that I always try to remember the languages I use.
Okay.
So I try to find people, like I do language exchange, or I go to, I go online, like I used to use this website called Live Mocha,
Like what? Okay. Cool.
where they,
I've heard about it, but actually, I use mylanguageexchange.com.
My Language
Normally,
Exchange.
I've met a lot of cool people.
yeah, or I've heard
and,
another application called Hello Talk or something like that.
Yeah, I heard about it as well. As well, there's a lot. No,
Yeah,
a lot
there's a lot of
people
applications.
from, yeah, of course, where you can find people. So basically, then you to when you're losing a bit of motivation, you like to find people,
Exactly.
and then start chatting with them again to
Yes.
just like rebuild that,
Yes.
rekindle the fire within.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually go to language classes for my languages, and
Okay.
once I'm
Like
done,
in university.
yeah,
or,
no, in language schools.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so and once I'm usually done with that, and there's no more way of progressing,
Mm-hmm.
I like to find people so I can just practice, like friends or getting into a relationship is a really good idea.
Getting into a relationship.
Yes.
With the person from
Because
that
you get
country
to
that you're.
exactly because
Of
you get
course,
to practice every single day,
Fair
all
enough,
the time.
okay.
You hear it, you practice it. They correct your mistakes, and it's just a
True.
Yeah.
True. But what I find interesting as well is that like a lot of times that people get into a relationship with a person from, let's say, a Canadian starts a relationship with someone from Germany,
Yes.
and he or she starts learning German.
Yeah.
But then they start speaking English all the time.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's I think that can be a problem. But it's kind of cool when the other person's also kind of learning your language still.
Yeah.
Right, and then you actually kind of forced to speak more in their language. Then I think it's pretty cool. No, but I agree with you, of course. It helps. It helps, of course.
Yes. Of course.
Okay, so do you also do your learning online outside of classrooms, like outside, like as well as outside of interactions with people, or do you primarily learn languages in the classroom and then applying that, chatting with people?
For online, what I like to do, I do this rarely, but what I do is that I still find people online, but I don't chat with, like, I send them messages,
Okay.
and then they correct my grammar or my mistakes,
Okay.
and if they need help with their language, I do that as well.
Nice. Okay, so it's kind of a language exchange, but
Yeah, it's
mostly
still-
just written.
Yeah, just written rights.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Nice. Yeah. I think, for example, like on this website that I use, mylanguageexchange.com, they have that option, so like just email
Yeah.
or whatever.